Okay, picture this, the US president, leader of the free world, chilling in the Oval Office. It's a place of immense power and responsibility where decisions that affect millions are made every day. Except not really chilling, because right next to them is a briefcase. But this isn't just any briefcase, a briefcase with more power than 1,000 suns. It's not glowing for no reason. It holds the fate of the world inside. This, my friends, is the nuclear football, a symbol of ultimate authority and terrifying power. Inside this magical briefcase are the launch codes for America's nuclear arsenal. These codes are the keys to the most destructive weapons ever created by humankind. We're talking weapons that can level entire cities. Imagine the sheer devastation, the unimaginable destruction, and the president has the sole authority to use them. One person with the power to change the world in an instant. Yep, you heard that right. One person, one big button. It's a responsibility that weighs heavily on the shoulders of whoever sits in that chair. This whole football thing started during the Cold War, a period of intense rivalry and fear between the United States and the Soviet Union. A time when everyone was scared of mushroom clouds and communist spies. The threat of nuclear war was a constant shadow over daily life. The idea was to let the president launch a counterattack if the Soviets got froggy. Comforting, right? It was a strategy born out of necessity to ensure a swift and decisive response in the face of existential threats. Now, you might be thinking, hold on, John, doesn't the Constitution say something about this? Well, it's a bit more complicated than that, and you'd be right. Sort of. The Constitution does provide some guidance, but it leaves a lot open to interpretation. See, the Constitution gives the president broad powers as commander-in-chief. This means the president has significant authority over military decisions. But it doesn't explicitly say anything about nuking other countries. There's no clear directive on the use of nuclear weapons. This ambiguity has led to, shall we say, vigorous debate. Legal scholars, politicians, and military experts have all weighed in on this issue. Some folks think this kind of power is way too much for one person. They worry about the potential for misuse or rash decisions. They argue that Congress should have a say in any decision to go nuclear. Seems reasonable, no? After all, Congress is supposed to represent the will of the people. But others say, nope, gotta be decisive. They believe that in times of crisis, swift action is crucial. They argue that in a crisis, we need someone to act fast. The president, as commander-in-chief, is in the best position to make quick decisions, and waiting for Congress to debate the finer points of nuclear war just isn't practical. The process could take too long, and time is a luxury we might not have, because, time is of the essence when the world's about to end. In such scenarios, every second counts, and delays could be catastrophic. So, let's talk Turkey. Can we really trust one person, even the president, with this much power? I mean, we've all had bad days. What if the president wakes up on the wrong side of the bed or accidentally eats a bad burrito? This isn't just hypothetical, folks. Remember January 6th? That whole mess where rioters stormed the Capitol? Well, guess what? The vice president had his nuclear football with him, and it was a little too close for comfort to those yahoos. That whole incident really made people nervous. It showed how vulnerable the system is, and it raised serious questions about what could happen if the wrong person got their hands on that briefcase. After January 6th, even the Pentagon was like, okay, maybe we need to rethink some things. The events of that day were a wake-up call, shaking the very foundations of our national security. They launched a comprehensive review of security protocols for the nuclear football, the briefcase that holds the keys to our nuclear arsenal. Because, let's be honest, the last thing we need is some conspiracy theorist running off with the apocalypse in a briefcase. Imagine the chaos that would ensue if such a critical piece of national security fell into the wrong hands. Now, the details of these safeguards are top secret. They are shrouded in layers of confidentiality to ensure that only the most trusted individuals have access. But we do know there are multiple layers of authentication. It's a complex system designed to prevent unauthorized access at every step. It's not just a matter of knowing the codes. The process involves several checks and balances to verify the authenticity of the commands. The president has to prove it's really them. This involves biometric verification, personal identification numbers, and other classified methods, which is probably for the best. We need to be absolutely certain that the person giving the orders is indeed the commander-in-chief. On top of that, military commanders have to follow orders. They are trained to execute commands swiftly and efficiently. But, and this is important, they also have a duty to disobey illegal or immoral orders. This is a crucial safeguard to prevent misuse of power. So if the president goes full Bond villain, there's a chance someone might say, "No, Mr. President, I expect you to die another day." This system of checks and balances is designed to protect our democracy from any potential abuse of power. The future of nuclear command is, to put it mildly, uncertain. Some experts think we need more safeguards, like maybe requiring the Secretary of Defense or the Attorney General to sign off on any launch orders. Just a thought. Others say we should rethink our reliance on nuclear weapons altogether, because, let's face it, this whole mutually assured destruction thing isn't exactly a sustainable long-term strategy. But one thing's for sure, the debate over how to keep those nukes safe and sound is going to continue, because, as we've learned, the fate of the world might just depend on it.